तुम ही हो माता पिता, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो माता पिता, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो। जो खिल सके न वो फूल हम हैं, तुम्हारे चरणों ये धूल हम है। दया के दृष्टि सदा ही रखना, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो। Good morning and welcome this morning again. What a beautiful morning here in Jamaica, Queens, America, New York. You know, this is a very auspicious weekend for our Christian brothers and sisters. And you know, we know about it because holidays are there for Good Friday, Easter Sunday, which is, I think it's today, and the resurrection and all of that for the Christ. So, growing up in Guyana, in the British colony, I had the opportunity of attending, we had the opportunity in the village to attend Catholic school because that's what's all available. And our headmaster, Mr. James Jabot Singh, he was a devout Catholic, but he had, you couldn't tell because he is also, you know, so much concerns for the Hindus, because in that village most of the children, 90% of the children were all Hindus. And I was so close to him, and he was such a great headmaster, the highest of discipline. And I can remember from that discipline, so much great souls came out, students came out who, you know, moral and ethics and religion was there. And every morning we would have said the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, and morning and evening. And we would have studied the Bible, because when we wrote higher education at the Kovan John Ashram, because in that school it was not geared to write the exam, but at Kovan John Ashram, which is a BHARAT SEVASHRAM Sheng, Guyana SEVASHRAM Sheng, we would have gone there and we would have write the exam, general certificate for examination, and it was sent to London to be written and then sent back with the results. So we had a good blast of that Christianity and all of that. And you know, at the United Nations, I work with so many Christian organizations and the Committee of Religious NGOs and Committee of Spiritual Values and Global Concerns. And many of my trips to the various countries, they were done by civil society of different faith and traditions. Like I could remember going to Israel, that was done by an organization, UPF, and going to other countries and going to with the Parliament of World's Religions, going to Melbourne, Australia, and also going to Utah here in America. And you know, these are different faiths sponsoring these things, and you know, so I get to enjoy religion. And from my upbringing and continuously, I never saw the differentiation between the Christ, the Buddha, and Hinduism and the Indic faiths. So this vastness of experience put religion on a lower level. That when you think about the Christ, he's the one that Christianity, main body in Christianity, main God in Christianity, throughout his life. He never, there were no controversies. Whatever he did was all purely spiritual. Simple person, simple God, get birth in a manger and then crucified. And this week you could see the Christian brothers and sisters, they will take the path that he would have had to carry the cross. And you know this. But religion, when we look at it, it starts to divide, because every religion would want to have supremacy over the other. And this want of supremacy is infused by man misinterpretation of God. But anyway, we have to, this is the world that we live in, and we have to hold our ground. You know, Swami Parameshananda ji, he is a God of this caliber, that he comes and is God and he doesn't see it, but yet, you know, he has to reinforce and reinvigorate the Hindus for them to hold their ground, and because to preserve their strength from the scriptures, like what Krishna Bhagwan said, Bhagwan Sri Ram, we do Mother Durga worship, and this is springtime, and Mother Durga be worshipped again, and Hanumanji, all these gods, and Bhagwan Sri Ram, you know, we be worshipping. And there's a myriad of Hindu festivals that keeps us going, the Hindu people. So this morning, let us all pay obeisance to this in this mandir. You could hear the birds chirping in the background. What a beautiful morning. The ducks are swimming in the lake, and we're here with nature. And this is our, whatever we experience outside, it's inside of us. This Advaita philosophy, meaning that there's no separation between what is outside and what is inside of us, because everything that was manifest is inside of us and beyond the manifestation. So this is what we want to do this morning. We want to latch on to that. We want to arrive at that place. We want to expand our horizon. We are not just, our Mother Earth is just not, we should go beyond Mother Earth. No, beyond New York. Oh, no, beyond Jamaica, Queens. Because many people, they didn't have the opportunity to go beyond this manifestation of consciousness. No, they didn't get a chance. Some people didn't get on the plane or never gone to a pilgrimage. So this morning, this is a pilgrimage. Let us pay adorations to Surya Narayan. Are you ready to chant adorations to Surya Narayan? Om Bhara Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhara Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhara Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. This Gayatri mantra is so powerful. And let's pay adorations to Lord Shiva, and we chant mantra to Lord Shiva. Om Sri Guru Shivaya Namah. 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 You know, whatever practice you have, you know, whether you are ritualistic, more ritualistic in our Hinduism, or you're monastic, where you go to the gods and the goddesses and you ask for whatever is necessary for you to go through this life. Wisdom from Saraswati Ma, blessings and wealth from Lakshmi Ma, and you know, all this protection from Bhagwan Sri Ram and Bhagwan Sri Krishna. You know, whatever you do, continue. But at the same time, always think that you have to arrive, you have to move up, you gotta advance, you have to come to the conclusion, you come to the realization, the conviction that everything is inside of you. It's not a physical thing, but it's a mental, this is a journey we all have to take. And you know, when I had the opportunity to serve, Swami Parameshananda was taking me to different places, putting me in the right places. Because I have this simple habit of never wanting to stay in a comfort zone. Because if you stay in a comfort zone, you wouldn't be meeting with the people out there. That, when I walk the streets in New York here, I will meet people just like that. I can remember walking out of the United Nations in Manhattan in First Avenue and 44th Street in New York City. And I met a gentleman, Paul Sherbo. He saw the name, BHARAT SEVASHRAM Sheng. And he was so excited. Oh, Swamiji, oh my God, I just came from your ashram in Kolkata. He visited. Come. I want you to go and meet my boss. There's something going on. I want you to. And 10 minutes after, just by walking in the streets, what happened? I'm on a trip to go to Kyoto, Japan. And then from that Kyoto, Japan, reaching some people giving cards, make it a long story short, coming back and then following up on this card by chance, and I'm in Syria, Lebanon, doing conflict resolution, spiritual harmony. And little by little, it expands to Israel and where the Christ was born, getting to see where Bethlehem, where Christ took birth, and going to the Sea of Galilee in the boat where the net was cast, and go and see where he took his final journey. This is all. And then the Buddha going into walking the streets of New York, and then having an opportunity to be invited. The Buddha was in New York City, go and seeing him. This is all because, you're out there. You're not staying within the comfort zone. You're venturing. Be among the people. That's what Swami Parameshananda would have done. Go among the scheduled castes, the tribal people, in the Sundarbans, and look after them and take food from them, not looking to say, okay, these are low-class people, or they weren't clean enough to take the food, because him being God and him being in all of his creation, how can he separate himself? He prepared himself in his earlier birth, in his earlier childhood, and when he got God realization in 1916, 20 years of age, then he would have, what happened then? Then he would have expanded. All of his awareness was 100%, and it was 100% all over creation and beyond creation. He was Satchidanand, truth, consciousness, and bliss. And he was omnipotent, all-powerful, divine power. 100% he had that divine power, and 100% of the time he was all-pervading. He exists all over. He cannot be divided. He was all one. He knew what was going on he knew my past, your past. He knew our present. He knew our future. That's why Bharat SEVASHRAM Sheng, it's so powerful an organization. He built it with infusing spirituality all the way into his monks, his disciples. And he's continued doing this because he would have said, I'm working behind the curtain. Meaning that he is without name and form now. He's that all-pervading, all-knowing, all-powerful Lord. So this morning, it's a very beautiful morning, and some people running here, and look, birds. You listen to that bird, how chirping birds. There you go. And this is the best mandir. There's no limitation in this mandir, and there's no wall, and the murtis are here. Let us worship the murti. Let us worship Mother Earth as Prithvi Ma. Let us worship Varun Deva in water, and Ganga, Mother Ganga. Let's worship Surya Narayan as fire and heat. Let us worship air, so refreshing and so vital to our existence, all this. Let us worship space and all that is the space that is sustaining everything that was created. Aren't you feeling good, devotees? What would you be doing today? Would you be get busy with all your chores, but make some time to do some meditation, do introspection. Listen to Google is there. Google, and just whoever comes up, an inspirational speaker, you listen to them. This is like, the younger generation is saying that the guru of the time is Google. They call Guru Google. And they're kidding you, jokingly they will say this. So we have the guru, and then of course you have to have that physical or guru, or a guru like Swami Parameshananda ji. Well, I've said enough, and let us close with this. I always like this Krishna bhajan. Oh man, this is so good. Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om, Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om, Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Vanmali Murali Dhari, Govardhan Giridhari, Nit Nit Karamakan Chori Gopi Manhari, Nit Nit Karamakan Chori Gopi Manhari, Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Aavo re, gaavo re, Gokul ke pyari, आओ रे खांदा रे गोकुल के प्यारी, आओ रे नाचो रे रास रचाओ रे, आओ रे नाचो रे रास रचाओ रे, हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओम, हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Well, you've done your worship for today. Continue it with meditation. Keep the Lord in your mind constantly. Hari Om. Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Bolo Sisi Guruji Maharaj Ki Jai. And special adorations to the Christ. Om Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om.